Hello, Francesca Ragucci here, CEO of Francesca Ragucci Marketing. Today's video is different than everything that I typically put out. So I'm choosing to talk about this event because my mission with being out in this social media, YouTube, internet universe, and being a business owner and a leader of a team and clients is to be courageous and have integrity. Those are two things that I talk about in all of my videos and podcasts. So it took me some time, and I'm choosing to be courageous to share this event. So I'm gonna just start in, tell my story, and then share with you how this is affecting my life and business, Francesca Ragucci Marketing. On Saturday, which was now 2 days ago, today's Monday, it's Monday morning, I'm recording this. Saturday, I go to gymnastics in the morning. I always take the same way to go. It was just after a rainstorm. It was lightly raining. The ground was wet, and I was driving on the highway. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, close to 10. I went to take an exit, and for those of you who are familiar with the area, Philadelphia area, I took Highway 476, went to the Conshohocken exit where it splits Conshohocken and Philadelphia. I went to take the exit, slowed down. I pumped the brakes slowly. And then I realized and experienced in that couple of seconds that my car was continuing to go, and in fact it was speeding up instead of slowing down. And what happened with the car while I was driving is, as I pumped the brakes, it sped up. I realized that this car is continuing, and the back of the car, the tail, spun out. The car drifted onto the side of the highway exit. The car spun out, spun about 360 degrees, hit the hill, and flipped over while I was driving the car. The car landed upside down while I was in the driver's seat. So that's what happened to the car. Now, what I was personally experiencing in that moment, I was going to slow down, and I realized instinctually, it was all instincts right here. The car is continuing to go, so I'm going to let it go. I took my foot off the brake completely. I held on the steering wheel. I had my seatbelt buckled, and the car was spinning out. This event happened really slow, like 1, 2, 3. It happened really slowly for me, and I experienced every motion that was happening in that space. And the car spun, and I was like, okay, the car is spinning. And then as the car was veering off to the side, I was getting closer and closer to the hill. At that time, my driver's side was next to the hill. So the door was next to me, and then the hill was on the other side. And I turned my head to face the hill, and I at that point, a lot of my sensory was just not there. Thoughts, my mind went completely blank. Feeling, I felt nothing. At that time, bodily feeling nothing. At that time, the music was on. I heard no music because I was driving and listened to music. And I just saw. I saw out of my human eyes. I just saw it happening. And so I hit the hill. And as I was going to hit the hill, I realized that in that moment, whether it was my instincts or my soul telling me, it wasn't thinking thoughts, it was my soul. I realized in that moment that there were two options for me as an outcome, life or death. And in that moment, as the car hit the hill and the car flipped over, the car was in the air, and I was in the seat, buckled in, my hands were still on the steering wheel. I wanted to live. I have a desire to continue to live. Though I reconciled that if this was it for me, if this was it for me, then I was okay with that happening. So I reconciled within myself that I want to live, and I hope to live, and I hope the outcome is that I live and survive. In my soul told me that I was going to survive. However, because of the experience and what was going on, I had reconciled in that time that this could be it for me here on this earth in this body. And I was okay with that. I was okay with that happening, because that was what I was experiencing in that moment, and it was happening really slowly. So the car flipped midair, and I just, again, it was harrowing, and I felt nothing. The only sensory that was working, or really like I knew I was aware of in that moment, was vision. And then the car, so I heard the bump into the hill. The car flipped over midair, and the car landed completely upside down. So the complete bottom of the car was flipped over. I was upside down in the car, in my seat, as if I was driving. I was still buckled in. My feet were on the bottom. Well, if the car was right side up, it was the bottom. My feet were at the top because the car was flipped over. Completely. All four wheels were up. The entire bottom was showing. After it flipped over, I heard the crash. And I recall everything 100% completely. I heard a crash. I heard the glass shatter. I saw the glass shatter on the window in front of me. I didn't see it as it was happening because it was experiencing this and hearing the crashing, and then also having the realization of, am I surviving this? And it stopped. I heard no sounds. There were no cars around me, so this was just me. No cars were driving by on the exit. It was just me in that moment. And I survived. Yes, I have makeup on my face. I survived. And I feel courageous to say that I saved my own life in that moment because I was buckled in, so that held me in the seat while the car was flipping and going into the hill. It completely held me in the seat. My head was far enough away from the top of the ceiling of the car, so there was no crashing into the car. I was not jostled around at all. I was literally in one spot as if I was still driving. My items jostled around, which I was okay with that at that time. Was not even thinking about anything like that. Then after the flip, I was seated as if I'm regularly driving, except the car was upside down. I looked over to the driver's side door. I unlocked the door manually. I unbuckled my seatbelt and I crawled out of the car. So I crawled out of the car on my hands and knees. And when I got out, I looked to my left first because the left is how cars come in to see if any cars were coming in. No cars. Then I looked to my right and I saw a car that was parked on the shoulder of the road where I was, feet down, 20 feet down, let's say. And the man came out of the car, was waving his hands, waving, like signaling me that they're coming to help me. And he ran over and he said, "My wife and I saw the whole thing. Are you okay?" He introduced himself to me, and his wife was on the phone calling 911, calling the police, the ambulance, and the fire department. And all I could say for literally the first 5 minutes was, "I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe," like, that's all I said. I told him my name. I just said, "I can't believe this happened to me." I just looked on the ground and I was in shock that I survived, to be honest. And I was intact, my entire body. My lip was bleeding a little bit. I got one bruise on each of my legs. I felt some glass in me because a lot of glass shattered and there were little shards. And then I was like, could not believe that I survived. I'm like, I survived this. I survived this. I'm alive. I'm alive. Oh my goodness, how'd this happen? Why'd this happen? Like, I was driving safe. I was driving safe. It just happened that this happened to me. This happened to me. And there was a lot going on in that time because that had just happened. My skin was completely white and my cheeks were bright red because my body was in such a state of shock because the event was really harrowing for me. And police came, mom came, called my family, so all of that happened. And in that moment, I just couldn't believe it happened. It was just one of those, like, I've seen it happen, and in fact, all year, I've seen a lot of really horrific car accidents, more than I ever have. All year, even when I went to London, I saw a very horrific car accident. Cars flipped over. Every time there was a car flipped over, one car was jammed into the other, there was a human upside down in the car, and on Saturday, that was me. Now, thankfully, it was only me. And this experience, this was my experience. It just happened to me. No one else mattered, nothing else, no events, business, anything. Nothing mattered at that time while this was happening, because all I had to rely on was me in that moment, was my courage to have the will to stay alive, even though I reconciled with potentially dying in that moment because it was harrowing as my car hit the hill and flipped in the air and landed upside down. And it was interesting because I didn't even think of injury. I didn't think like, oh, I could get injured. I only thought life or death. I either said, I'm surviving this or this is it for me. And what's my legacy? I even thought like, What is my legacy? That's what I thought as this was happening too. My soul thought it was less of like this conscious human brain that thought it. It was just coming to me somehow. What's my legacy? Am I dying today? Am I going to survive? That came to me. And I survived. You know, it's 2 days later, and I'm standing here. I continued, you know, I went to the gym on Sunday, as I typically do. I stretched out, and I'm healing my body. And I'm walking, I'm moving around. I have a will to live. And what I learned specifically, aside from death is real, and next day, first day was more like, I can't believe this happened to me over and over. The next day was more so like, wow, I survived a near-death experience. I survived a harrowing event that happened to me, seemingly harrowing, quite fearful. I was quite fearful in the beginning, and then I got stoic or still and calm as it was happening. So while the car was skidding, I was afraid. And then after I realized the car is going to take its own course, I had a stillness and a calmness in me to ride it out and just stop. I always spoke about having the courage to step forth on social media, for example. On Saturday, I demonstrated a much higher level of courage than stepping out onto social media and creating content. I saved my own life and feel courageous because I was in an experience where my life was on the line. And like I said before, I was facing life and death at the same time, and that's what I truly 100% honesty was experiencing in that moment. And I saved my life, and I am a survivor, and I survived this experience. And one of the first, or maybe not the first, but in that day, I had contacted a few people who were special to me, friends, family, so forth, and had told them about what happened. And I had had a family party that night, so it helped because I then realized that I have support, and I have a reason to live. And after this event, the universe kept me here. Something kept me here. Something kept me on this earth, walking around and moving as if I was before it happened. Something kept me here for a reason. Like, I'm alive today for a reason. So it feels really good to have the support that I've been experiencing and am experiencing on Saturday and these past few days. And I chose to put this out as a video because I just want to make you aware, to be honest. Like, I told my friends and family and clients and gymnastics teammates and coaches and all types of things. I just want to make you aware because I said to myself to move forward with the regular schedule and the content schedule and talking about different business activities and strategy, that I have to present this first and put it out there fully on all the channels, all the platforms, and talk about this life-altering experience, which is now shifting my perspective on business and many things about life and really going for my dreams.
I'm really just like being my best self and showing up. And like, I experienced real fear on Saturday. So having a fear to public speak in front of 1,000 people, or having a fear to put that video topic out, or having a fear to increase the investment that my clients pay, you know, moving forward and growing my business, because I know exactly how my company is going to grow. I know the industries I'm going to reach. Hotels, hotel residencies, private aviation, real estate, restaurants. I know how this company is going to grow, and I'm growing it. And I'm standing tall in that, while still, you know, maintaining relationships with current clients and stepping forward in my own courage and integrity, because I faced real fear. I faced a real event that changed my life. And I'm no longer the person who I was, or the ideas that I thought before, you know, on Friday. Because I was worrying about a lot of stuff. I'm in a space right now where I know what I have to do to grow this company, and to move to LA, and to visit LA for the first time, and to have an office on the East and West Coast, and to, you know, have the opportunity to make the Forbes list and achieve and make clients happy and grow their business and continue to share my message. I have not thought of anything that I thought about before this event at all. Not crossed my mind, not relevant, not important. So everything that anyone says to me, no, rejection, whatever, I don't care about it. Because what matters to me and to the clients and prospective clients or friends is that I'm showing up and I'm having the courage to say it. And that's what matters, because I was the one in that car. I experienced this. And to a lot of maybe outside people who already know about it, it just, you know, I shared what happened to the car and, you know, what happened to me and my well-being, but this is more the psychological angle of it, is what happened to me on that day and now. And I'm sharing this video because I'm going to continue to grow my business. I always had thought to myself, like, what an appropriate word is when you're moving on from an event or trauma or tragedy. You know, is it reconcile? Is it, what is it? Cope? Is it move on? Is it subside? Is it forget? And now I know that word is continue, because this is not something I'm going to forget. This is not something I'm ever going to forget. And this is now a part of my journey. Whatever endeavors I'm involved in, whether it's business or working out or speaking in front of a group of people, this is now a part of my journey because it happened while I'm growing my business. And I'm choosing to share this video and step forward into my own courage and make this, embrace this in a way as a form of courage and as a form of stepping into myself and sharing this message with someone who is a prospective client, a current client, going to be one of my employees on my team, hiring me for a speaking engagement, or even someone else who went through this, who went through a life-altering experience and survived. Because this is my new reality and my message, my core, you know, redefine your reputation. Our clients have courage in their her clients have courage in their work and integrity in their actions, that's staying the same. That foundational message within the company is changing the same. However, you are going to see different types of videos from me. You're going to see my essence, my character, the message evolve more because of this experience. Because it's not something I'm going to move on from. I will continue, and I will embrace the outcome of being a survivor of this type of event and share my story to inspire anyone who chooses to listen or knows someone or someone needs help. And let this video or even my message be a beacon of hope to that person. And that's it. That's why I chose to create this video today. I wanted to put this out there into the universe. I'm putting it everywhere. I'm speaking my truth. I'm not holding back, because I faced real fear, real life or death fear, which is different than having anticipating a client call or, getting a little nervous to go in front of all these people and speak, or, having a challenge in the business, which surely all of that will happen. But my response to that is now different, because my life was at risk on Saturday, and I saved myself. And I saved myself because of the courage that I set forth in staying calm and being still as my car was hitting that hill and flipping over. And also, having the courage to share this video and being grateful for that couple who came and helped me and really helped save me too. And all of the EMT and the police officers and the firefighters who came. So I really felt what it was like to be saved by myself and to get another chance at living. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry, but not sorry. And to have other humans who never knew me or met me to help me. So my experience with the human race is now different. I was closed before in many areas. I always was open as possible about my business, but kept some of the things to myself because I was afraid to share. But this experience, I had to share. It's my mission to share this. It's my mission. I said, no fear, I'm sharing this. None of that. I'm not being closed off about this. That's why I reached out to my friends and told them. That's why I told some other individuals I know and clients, and I'm sharing this video with you right now because I am being open about my experience and setting forth this message of courage and standing still with integrity during this time, which I will say, even though my body and brain work, psychologically, I'm going through a lot. I'm experiencing a lot right now. And even though I'm still going to show up for myself, my clients, my team, my friends, family, and everyone supporting me, I am very much still in this life-altering type of space because of what happened, and it's so fresh. And I'm not looking for this to go away. That's not why I'm presenting this. I'm not presenting this video, say, okay, now it's gone and I can move on. No. Like I just said, the word is continue. I'm continuing on after this. I'm continuing to live because I got the opportunity, and I'm continuing to develop my business, and I'm continuing to now make this a part of my journey, because it's a part of now what's shaping my character and what's going to allow me to show up for clients in different ways and just show up for myself. And instead of second guessing on this opportunity or entering an industry or signing up for something, I'm going to do it because I almost didn't have that opportunity, and that's real. So thank you for watching this video. That's why no call to actions today. I'm just saying thank you for watching this video and listening to this message of courage and my real story that's now a part of my journey. And I desperately, absolutely had to, and this was a part of my mission after that event, to put this video out and share it to the universe to help me heal first and to help me continue, and for you, to help you learn more about me and what happened, along with coping with something that happened to you that's traumatic or you see as a tragedy. Because even though those events never go away, and they're not supposed to, you still can continue your life, and you can continue living and showing up, whatever that means for you. Okay. Whew. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.